Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a comedy film, Evolution. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie starts off showing a meteor coming towards Earth, and as it nears the Earth's atmosphere, it breaks apart into pieces before falling to Earth. The next scene shows a car driving by in the middle of the night. Wayne exits the driver's seat, then heads to the trunk and opens it. He pulls out a dummy and carries it to a small shed. He then proceeds to open a container filled with fuel, and he scatters it all over the shed. Wayne lights up a match, tosses it at the shed, and the shed immediately catches on fire. He brings out a stopwatch and presses on it before running towards the burning shed. Wayne starts shouting, pretending that a dummy is a real person. He saves the dummy from the shed by giving it CPR. Wayne then notices a burning object falling from the sky. The meteorite lands on his car with an impact, causing an explosion. Wayne stands up and examines his surroundings before cussing. In a university, a professor named Ira gives almost all of his students an A in their biology papers. But 2 stupid students got a failing grade. Professor Ira tells the whole class about the 2 papers written by the stupid students about their uncle living inside a prison cell instead of talking about cells, which make up human bodies. Then the entire class laughs. Professor Harry speaks with his female student about her examination paper. She tries to persuade Professor Harry to check the paper again, since she needs the credit for her to become a nurse. Harry questions the student about trying a different job, where people's life wouldn't depend on her skills. She then admits her dream of becoming Miss Arizona, but she was told that nursing studies would impress the judges. Professor Ira interrupts them, and asks Harry to go to lunch with him. Harry brings Ira to where the fallen meteorite is located, because Harry has permission to check the meteor site. Upon arriving, Harry introduces Ira as his secretary to a sheriff. The sheriff tells Wayne that he still doesn't know why he was there in the middle of the night, and Wayne argues that he was practicing for his fireman entrance exam last night. The sheriff lets him go home. Harry and Ira enter the meteorite hole, and underground, their surroundings imitate a cave. 3 officers proceed to take pictures beside the meteor. Harry and Ira ask the officers to let them handle things now, and the officers allow them. The 2 professors start observing the meteorite, and while observing, the meteorite continues to give off visible steam due to its heat. Harry uses a small axe to penetrate the meteorite to see its reaction. After, the meteorite bleeds with a clear substance oozing out. Later on, Ira observes the liquid sample from the meteors bleeding a while ago. Ira sees the cells multiplying fast. In disbelief, Ira proceeds to observe the sample as it multiplies at a really fast pace. Suddenly, the glass holding the sample starts to break. Ira heads to the school court to find Harry coaching the volleyball team. Ira tells Harry that the sample's DNA has 10 base pairs. Ira grabs Harry's attention by telling him that the organisms might be aliens. The both of them head to Ira's office. Ira lets Harry observe the sample through the microscope. While observing, Harry notices something, which makes Ira check the microscope again. They discover that it's a multicellular organism, rather than a unicellular one. Ira then explains that the cells are evolving. On the other hand, Wayne falls asleep during his fire brigade examination. He also accidentally hits his private part as he brings the hose pipe. He, therefore, fails the exam, but a guy tells him he can retake the exam in 6 months. Afterward, Wayne drives off with his beat-up car from the meteor fall. Ira and Harry take their students to see the meteor site, and they head underground to see it. They all witness a yellow mushroom-like thing sprouting from the ground of the cave. They also get a whiff of an unpleasant smell coming from them. Nadine feels a wiggling sensation on her toes. There they discover flatworms under the mist that is spread across the floor. Ira picks a worm, and it instantly dies when he lifts it. He suspects that oxygen killed it. They put one in a specimen jar, then the worm splits into 2, reproducing over and over again. Ira tells Harry to keep everything a secret, especially from the government. The scene shifts to Wayne, who is now a pool manager at a country club. The man sighs and asks him why a damp towel is in his chair. The man complains, while Wayne gets the towel and continues his job while mocking the man. While doing his work, Wayne spots something on the floor. He opens the door and discovers the floor swarming with slimy worms. Wayne tries to grab a bottle of chlorine, and his attention is caught by the fish tank. He observes it, then suddenly a weird fish appears. Wayne then leaves and closes the door. Going back, Harry and Ira drive to the meteorite crash site, and they discuss how the species are evolving so quickly. They see 2 choppers fly by above them. They arrive in the area where the meteorite crashed, and they find the government building bases around the site. Harry and Ira get stopped by a soldier, and are asked what their business is. Ira tells the soldier that they have important research, and that this is their site. The soldier refuses to let them enter as their names are not on the list, but Harry argues with him, and tells the soldier to call his superior. As the soldier contacts his superior, another soldier comes up to them, and is trying to pull out his gun to shoot Ira, but the other soldiers stop him. The soldier finally lets Harry and Ira in. The general welcomes them, and Harry introduces himself. Ira's former boss arrives and introduces herself, and the boss starts scolding Ira about his recklessness. Ira and Harry debate with the general and the boss. After their argument, the general asks his soldier to show Ira and Harry the way out of the site. The both of them leave and threaten the general that it's not over. In the courtroom, Ira asks if they will get credited for discovering the alien species, since they put their lives on the line for it. A lawyer discusses Ira's past as a top researcher, and also talks about how bad it went. Harry cheers up Ira as they head towards their lab. Ira notices their doorknob unlocked, so they quickly head inside, only to discover their office is in a mess, and all of their samples and computer have been stolen. Harry and Ira decide to infiltrate the site. They sneak inside with their fake identities as a colonel and a soldier. They manage to get inside. There they find the creatures flying around the cave, and some are crawling. While Harry and Ira try to get a piece of evidence, the people observing them through the security camera calls the boss. They head down to the site to prevent Harry and Ira from getting any evidence. Ira tells the boss that their men stole their paperwork and evidence in their laboratory. Harry, on the other hand, is shouting because a creature got inside his suit. It soon gets inside his leg, and they quickly rush Harry to the hospital. The doctor tries to get the creature out of his leg before it reaches his balls. After Harry's pain, the doctor removes the creature from Harry's rectum. When the shit-smelly creature gets out of his rectum, it dies immediately after breathing oxygen, rather than Harry's smelly man shit. Back to Wayne, he is now a waiter at a country club, still disappointed about his failure in the exam. The man sets up a picnic area in the golf course. A woman calls up to the man, asking where he is. The man is near the pond to clean himself, and he replies to the woman. Suddenly a weird-looking alligator appears from the pond, chases the man, and drags him into the water. The woman heads back inside, and screams that something has just eaten the man. The boss and Ira are talking about Ira's past, and the boss asks why he ended up like that. After some talking, Harry and Ira head back to their laboratory. They find Wayne standing by their laboratory door, holding a bag, and Ira lets Wayne inside their lab. Wayne unfolds the bag, and there lies the creature that killed the man at the country club last night. A lady calls out to a woman, saying that she has some kind of infestation inside her closet. The woman then asks her friend to open the door. As she opens the door, a creature jumps out. The woman and her friends think that it's a bulldog with an ugly face. The lady approaches the creature, trying to tame it, and the creature gives her hands a long tongue massage. The ladies run out of panic. The woman grabs a gun, trying to shoot the creature, but it dies without giving her an opportunity to shoot. The boss arrives at the hotel. Ira approaches the boss, trying to convince her to shut the site down, because the species are spreading fast, and they need to kill the creatures before things get worse. The boss says that she'll try to convince the general, but she can't promise anything to Ira. Wayne and Harry are together eating, discussing the species. Ira arrives, informing Harry about his talk with the boss. But Ira finds his ex-girlfriend at the next table with her new police boyfriend, wearing the shirt he gave her. So, he approaches her, saying he wants his shirt back. They both start to argue, and the police try to stop the girl but get an emergency call, so he heads out to do his job. Harry, Ira, and Wayne then follow the scene, and they arrive at Jill's house. They get inside to observe the dead creature. Wayne rushes to Harry and Ira, saying that he found something. They quickly rush outside, following Wayne, and there, they see a bunch of the species lying on the ground. A creature moves and pukes something, a sac is seen coming out of its mouth, then the creature dies. Then, a fully evolved creature pops out of the sack and flies away. Harry, Ira, and Wayne chase it. The creature crashes in a mall, and Ira with the others arrive there too, and they grab shotguns. A girl is seen inside a fitting room mall, when she suddenly hears a knock that won't seem to stop. When she opens the door, she is dragged by the creature. Meanwhile, Harry, Wayne, and Ira are trying to find the creature inside the mall. The creature suddenly appears flying with a heavy fat girl in its claws. Ira decides to split up with them. He goes upstairs, while Harry and Wayne are on the main floor, but they end up losing the creature. Wayne finds a microphone, and he tries to imitate the sound of a chicken. Ira and Harry get irritated, so he stops. He then tries to sing instead. Ira and Harry get more irritated, because they think that what he's doing is stupid. But it seems that Wayne's tactic is working, since the creature is seen suffering from the nasty noise. Suddenly, they hear the roar of the creature. The creature approaches them, and Harry quickly grabs the heavy girl from the creature's claws. Ira shoots the creature, and successfully kills it. On the site, Governor Lewis arrives. He questions why he was not informed about the creatures. The boss proceeds to explain the situation, and she says that if they don't do something, they will lose the whole United States in 2 months. Harry, Ira, and Wayne arrive and introduce themselves to the governor. After some talking, they gather and plan about what to do to solve this issue. A soldier calls the general, saying that the creatures are taking down the cameras in the site underground. They witness the camera being destroyed by the evolved creatures until all the cameras are down. The general orders his men to call for a backup. They gather in front of the elevator. The creatures from the underground jump and attack the men gathered. The governor is being attacked by one of the creatures, so Wayne gets a gun and shoots it, saving the governor. The general orders his men to escort Ira and his company outside, saying that they don't need Ira and his people anymore. As they leave, the boss asks if she can join them, and Ira lets her. The people are evacuating while the soldiers are preparing to annihilate the creatures. They arrive at their laboratory, and Ira is trying to figure out how to kill the creatures with a liquid left over from the meteor. Harry starts smoking, and he accidentally throws a match in the liquid. The liquid starts getting bigger and produces flesh-like tentacles, and it continues to grow due to the heat. They all get speechless by witnessing the peculiar reaction. The stupid students from Ira's class enter the laboratory, and offer Ira and the others some beer. Meanwhile, Ira observes something from the boss's periodic table shirt. Ira comes up with a solution that selenium might be what they need to kill the creatures. The stupid students propose the idea to use the Head and Shoulder shampoo, since it contains selenium. All of them agree with the idea, so they proceed with their plan. The students help with filling the fire truck with the shampoo. After filling it, Ira and the others drive off to kill the creatures. They stop near the site and head underground. In another scene, the military prepares to attack the creatures. The governor arrives and orders the general, saying that he better kill those creatures. Underground, Ira and the others arrive at where the meteor crashed. The creatures furiously greet them. They get ready to attack the creatures, but the general commences his plan early, so the napalm fire strikes underground. The cave reacts to the fire, so it starts reacting, and produces flesh-like tentacles. Ira and the others run their ass as fast as they can. The tentacles start getting bigger, and it breaks the ground apart. Ira and the others get back inside the fire truck and drive off. The soldiers run away from the giant creature. The governor notices the fire truck driving towards the creature. The boss stops the fire truck, and they prepare to launch their attack at the core of the creature. They spray directly at the core with the shampoo that they gathered earlier. The creature reacts to it, feeling its ass is burning hot. Harry gets swallowed by the creature, but fortunately, Ira manages to save him. The creature starts to inflate until it explodes. They rejoice with the success of killing the creature. Ira and the boss passionately tongue massage, while covered with a green goo from the creature's explosion. The governor approaches them, and congratulates the group on their successful plan. The governor announces that Wayne is finally a credentialed firefighter before giving him his medal. Ira and Reed secretly escape to have a steamy hormone game in the fire truck, and they don't give a shit about their medals. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.